morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to another episode of the All I Do Is Win podcast by Pierce College. Listen, I'm your host, Terrence Jones, and today we are going to be blessed with a phenomenal guest, an amazing guest, a top tier talent, and Jordan Hobart.
All right. Thank you, Terrence.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to this conversation today, man. I think that we have a lot of powerful things to talk about.
For sure.
I'm really looking forward to the value, the life experience that you have just really being poured out in our conversation today. And poured out is a good word because it rhymes with the key of what we're talking about today. And that word is purpose.
There we go.
Somebody with me on the other side say purpose.
Y'all said it. Y'all better have said it.
Right. Facts. Purpose is so key. It's so critical. And before we dive into it, I want us to kind of just hear a little bit about you. Okay. So you could tell us, a little bit about yourself, a little background, just so they know who this is in the room.
So, like Terrence said, thank you for that awesome intro. Appreciate it. Great to be on the show. Terrence and I know each other through Next Philadelphia, the Urban League, Philadelphia's Young Professional Network, where I'm the advocacy committee chair. Terrence is in charge of our rules, our policy and procedures, and that's what brought us together. But just two stunningly handsome, stunningly brilliant, intelligent, young, bold, vibrant Black men. So we run in similar circles, but I'm glad to be on the podcast. And thank you for bringing me out. A little bit about me. I'm the founder of It's All Connected Coaching and Consulting, company I started out of my own bringing in my basement about a year and a half ago, after getting into coaching and realizing that there needs to be more empowerment of coaches so they can then empower their players.
Nice.
And get people to be successful and fulfilled on and off the field. So that's a little bit about me from Philly. Been in Philly for a long time now. I started going to school at Temple when I was 17. My pop side of the family is from Philly. My mom's side is from Reading. So Philly's always kind of been a home, and now it really is. It's been more than half my life here in a city that I love and a city that I think needs to find its way to live up to its potential.
Yeah. Very dope, man. I'm so glad to have you in the room, man. I think it's fitting for us to be here talking about just the success, the power that we're bringing to this space. But we're also in front of a wall of power, which has a lot of representations of Black male excellence, as
Absolutely.
We are once again filming this episode at 387 Grooming. That is a phenomenal space for male self-care. It's really not self-care. It's wellness because someone else is doing it. So it's not self-care if you're not doing it yourself.
The self part is walking through the door. Scheduling your appointment. That's taking care of yourself and giving yourself this opportunity to come into 387. Like the second you walk in here, you feel it. You feel it's like a sense of, it's a space of healing.
Yeah. Ooh.
And we need that. Like men, we need that. Yeah. Like everybody needs to heal. And I think that men, specifically men here in Philly, specifically Black men here in Philly, have been through some stuff. Yeah. Regardless of what stuff you've been through, you got to have time to heal so that you can get to growing.
Yeah.
It's hard to grow before you heal.
Facts. And I think that that's one of the amazing things about every man who is known to be great. They've had to heal in some kind of a way or overcome obstacles in some kind of a way. And I thought it might be good to kind of start talking or doing this talk today, thinking about some people who have already done that, right? Who've done it in an excellent way. And just thinking of the times right now, I want to spotlight a brother. Okay. His name is Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, talk to him.
Michael B. Jordan.
What a man. What a man. What a man.
He's definitely a man of excellence, man. And he's been doing it for a long time.
Since he was a kid.
But that's why I thought of him, because he's been doing it since he was a kid. But there's some people, if they're not aware, can think he's an overnight success. And so the truth is, yes, he's been grinding. He's been in the industry. He's been in the craft. And he started off as someone who wasn't well respected, someone who couldn't get a leading role, someone who was always looked at, passed over. There's definitely a lot of different representations and experiences that he shared in the past of him putting in for roles that were not even major roles, and him just not getting a call back. Not getting a call back. But
seems crazy now.
It seems mind blowing that someone would not be able to see the talent that he was and is now, because he was always the same person, and we'll dive into that later. But at some point, he decided to bet on himself, and I believe the film that changed gears was Fruitvale Station.
Yeah,
when he connected with Coogler,
genius,
and saw someone who was able to see the value that was in him, and he bet on himself.
Yeah.
He bet on himself and connected with someone who was also willing to see the value.
Who was betting on himself.
Absolutely, right?
And saw that.
And that emerged into a Rolodex of success and powerful Paramount Pictures that have amassed so much
box office smashes.
Yes. And
think about what they've done together, right? They did Fruitvale, which you mentioned, which is critically acclaimed, right? That's a hard movie to make.
Yeah.
That's an emotional movie to make. That's an important movie to make, right? Fruitvale Station is a real life story.
If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Check it out.
Check it out.
Great movie.
Check it out.
Then you go from critically acclaimed, then you go to box office smash, but it's also culturally relevant with Black Panther.
Yep.
Then you go and
the timing of it.
The timing of it was crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. I saw that movie 7 times in theaters. 7 times, right? Then you go and you do Creed 3 together. Then you go and do Black Panther together. Or Coogler goes and does Black Panther. Tribute to T'Challa as a character, but also a tribute to Chadwick, who we lost way too early. And like, Black man, go take care of your health. Like, I know we're at 3 at 7, we're doing our self-care, but go see your doctors, go see your dentist.
Absolutely.
Take care of yourselves. We got to live past 70. We got to live longer.
Health is wealth.
Then they go and do this new movie, Sinners, which was crazy.
Yes.
It brought in...
It's in theaters right now.
Everything. It brought everything together. It brought in religion, all different types of religion, Native American, spiritual religion. You had hoodoo in there. You had Irish Catholicism in there. You had Black church in there, Baptist church.
Yeah.
That movie touches on so many different things in so many different ways. And like, to be able to take an idea from your head and one, write it down, and then 2, direct it and produce it, and to do it as masterfully and tell a story that's that complex and deep and rich in 2 hours. That man those people are genius. They're actual geniuses, just like the people here on this wall.
Man, I'll tell you this.
The people here in this room.
Hey, now I'll tell you this. I'm looking forward to seeing Sinners, but I haven't seen it yet. So you gave me a bit of a spoiler.
I give you too much.
You were on the edge of...
I did that for y'all.
You were on the edge of telling me too much, but I think you did all right.
Yeah, you're good.
But now I'm going to be looking for certain elements based on what you said.
The movie's so crazy. I could sit here and go plot for plot, line by line to you, and you'd still have a great time watching.
Nice. And with all that being said, there's a quote that I want to sum that up with. And the quote says that purpose is not about waiting for the world to recognize you. It's about building your purpose loud enough that the world can't ignore you. I don't know where you're at. I don't know where you're listening to this, but the podcast just started, y'all. And we're about to dive in.
Let's get in it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
So when we talk about this, right, this concept of diving into purpose, we talked about adversity, but I think we should backtrack a little bit because I think the purposeful outcome is often on the back end of recognizing who you are, what you're here to do, but you have to get through all of the mess of life.
It's messy.
To see who you are, because oftentimes we see ourselves through the lens of our circumstances. So, man, I wish I had a better job. I wish I was a better student. I wish I was taller. I wish I was skinnier. I wish I was bigger. Wish I was or if you Trey Songs, I wish I was a player or something, right?
Whatever he said. Whatever he said.
No, he said, I don't want to be a player.
I don't want to be a player. Yeah, that's what it was. He was done.
But that was his purpose, right? I think he's pursuing it. I don't know. But at the end of the day, there's so many different things that we can live in that don't necessarily match where we're going. So how do you navigate that? Yeah.
When you either want to be something that's different than where you are, or you want to have something that's different than what you have, there's a dissonance, right? And we go through life. Anything that you do is inauthentic.
Yeah.
is creating more distance between who you are, who you see in the mirror, and what you want to create, right? So if you
That's
can't
good.
be honest with yourself, it makes it damn near impossible to be honest with anybody else.
That's good.
If you can't look yourself in the mirror and get honest and vulnerable, how are you gonna do that with a partner? How are you gonna do that with a friend? Black men especially have not enough friendship. But when you find your purpose, it'll help you find other people who have a similar purpose.
Yeah.
And then you can start getting that purpose connected and intertwined and aligned. And then you can go on a mission. But if you gotta get yourself right first, you talked about it. You gotta explore and know who you are. That's knowing who you are, who made you,
Yeah.
what places made you, what times made you. Different time frames shape people's lives. If you're a millennial, you have certain things that you grew up in and around. If you're Gen Z, you got certain things that you grew up in and around. No one is ever going to see the world through your eyes.
Yeah.
But you know what's crazy? You can never see yourself through someone else's eyes, right? Like even the closest you can get is the mirror or a picture, but it's still not how anyone else sees you, and you are the only person with your perspective.
And I think that exposes one of the biggest obstacles, and I think this comes up so frequently in our talks that we have here at the All I Do Is One podcast, is what are the things that keep you in that state of not being able to see yourself, right? And social media always comes up because as much as it is a powerful platform, it's also, as powerful as it is positively, it also can be even more
Anything.
detrimental
anything.
negatively, right?
Absolutely.
And because at the end of the day, you end up creating a diet, creating a daily commitment to watching how other people are living out their lives, discovering their purpose,
Or not.
right? And then it makes it tougher to imagine yourself because you're so full of everybody else.
We have a lot of distractions. I don't think it's the same 24, right? It's like the great philosopher Kendrick Lamar said.
Come on.
Got the same 24, what you mad for, right? The people on this wall got the same 24 hours.
Yeah.
You got the same 24 hours, everybody listening. I got the same 24 hours, but what are you doing with it? You can sit on your phone, pull out your phone right now. You probably listen on your phone. Take your phone, check your screen time.
Yeah.
See where you're allocating your time, because not only does social media impact your beliefs about yourself and the world around you, it also creates habits, right? So your beliefs are what you tell yourself in your head about yourself and the world, your ideas. That's almost your ideas. No one knows your beliefs, but I can see your ideas. I can see, like, just from how you dress to what you wear to how you wear your hair or how you enter a room. I can see like what ideas will spark from you. Beliefs to ideas, ideas to actions, right? Your ideas are the ignition to what you act on. They're the start of bringing yourself to the physical world. Your actions, how you walk, how you talk, what you do with other people, how you treat other people, how you treat yourself. Those are the actions, right? But those actions over time are your habits. And your habits are just who you are. So if your habit is to pick up your phone for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours a day and be on Instagram and TikTok scrolling, you're changing your brain. You're changing your chemistry. You're changing the habits that you have will change who you are. But at the same time, I'm a coach, so I had an athlete do this for me. So, yo, what's your screen time been like? I'm not even gonna put his business out there. It was crazy though.
Okay.
It was crazy screen time. He cut it by 75%, started sleeping better, started eating better, started getting better grades because he changed his habits. He was performing better in the weight room, better on the field. And it's just being intentional about what you're feeding yourself, because it starts with beliefs, but like once you change your habits, you can get to the root of your belief, whichever one is easier for you, right? Some people, it's easier for them to change a belief. I think it's easy to change something you believe if you try. I think it's harder to change a habit. Some people find it the opposite, where all right, I can force myself to wake up at 5 a.m. every day. I can force this habit, and then I'll believe that I can do it. They want to see it before they believe it.
Right.
So whatever works for you or for this person, beliefs, ideas, actions, habits become who you are.
I love that. I love that roadmap.
Yeah.
And I think it also speaks to the syncopation that has to happen, not just with social media, but also your social life. Because the people who are around you, back in the day, they used to say birds of a feather.
They flock together.
Flock together. And at the end of the day, if the people who are around you are not modeling or are not examples, then either you're in a position of influence where you're influencing them. And if you're not the one that's influencing, guess what? You're the one being influenced in some kind of a way. Whether you like it or not, whether you say, oh, nah, we're boys. Nah, you're either, you pick up what
100%.
people around you are doing.
100%.
If you notice, you have a friend, you're talking to that friend, whether it's a romantic friend or a friend, one of your boys. If you find a group of boys that hang out together, you'll find they tell the same jokes. They use the same transitional statements. They don't have to say anything to understand what the other person means. And when you have a really good friend, you can just look at someone and have a whole conversation and know exactly what they mean
just with
and
this.
Be locked in. Right. Just
know
with
the
facial
whole
expressions.
thing.
So what does that look like? If you can be so connected on even a non-verbal level with someone, how powerful does the purposefulness or lack thereof then impact your life as well when you factor in, separate from the phone, separate from who you follow, who's following you, who's actually in the room with you? What do you think on that?
I mean, some people struggle to just even be in the room, right? Like it's to the point now where we're so obsessed with the phone as a object that we will ignore other humans in the room. Now, you want to talk about the impact that the people you spend time with have on you?
Yeah.
That's so much. It impacts your beliefs, right? If you allow someone to be in your space enough that they can impact what you believe about the world and about yourself, that person has an influence. But you need to be able to dictate what influences. There's influences everywhere. There's distractions everywhere. You can pick up your phone and you can get on Instagram. You can get on TikTok. You can check the stock market. You can check your own investments. You can use that to access so much. But it's just a portal to other people, other places, other times.
Yeah.
Right? Like there was a point in time I talked to my grandma on FaceTime. My grandma is about to be 90 years old.
That's impressive that she's on FaceTime at 90
right?
years old.
Right? Isn't it? But it's even more impressive when you think about, like, that used to be, like, even in our lifetime, the ability to pick up a phone and look at someone was like science fiction.
Right.
So we have to have control over what we allow to influence us, and that starts with the people you have around you. If someone... You talked about being the influencer or being the person who's influenced. You have to know that. You have to be able to be honest about that too. And what's the influence this person's giving to me? Is this person... I usually have my water cup. You probably see me with it. It says Coach Jordan on one side. It says Vox Cougars football on the other side. That cup keeps me hydrated. But if my cup is empty, my proverbial cup is empty, I can't pour anything to anyone else. I can't refill anyone else's cup unless people are pouring back into me. So you got to pour into each other.
Yeah.
And there's different times where sometimes I'll influence you, but there might be times, yo, Terrence, I need you, dog.
Yeah.
I need you. I got to trust that when I say I need you.
Yeah.
Because real friendship, for anyone who doesn't have it, the biggest thing about me is I love the people that are in my circle. I'm a fight, I'm a die, but I'm gonna hold you accountable. If I see you messing up, that's what you want in a friend.
Yeah.
You want someone who's gonna be kind to you, somebody you can have a good time with, but you want somebody who's gonna hold you accountable and call you on your bull when you're messing up before it's too late.
Yeah.
Right? If you got a friend that can call you on your stuff, or a person in your life that can call you on your stuff before and do it out of kindness and out of love, that's a beautiful thing to have, because then you do that for them, and you do that back and forth, and then you create those habits where you don't have to, like, you don't even want to stray off the path, because your habit, your new homeostasis, your new balance is on this path.
Yeah.
It makes it hard to veer off.
That's really good, and it's so rich, and I want to backtrack a little bit, because something that you mentioned, I think, has a lot more to unpack from it. When you talked about the cup and the capacity of your own cup, but also looking at what's in your cup is what came to mind when you were speaking. Because I think sometimes we always look at just because we're filled that we should pour.
Yeah.
But you're already tapped in. What are you filled with? What have you filled yourself with? What have you been consuming? What is the content of your character? What is the capacity of your mind? Where is your clarity? I think sometimes we may not have room for any more to be added. I think sometimes, like, if we were to think back to growing up, well, parents, mentors, family members who might want to tell you how to do something, right? You may not be able to receive it because you're already full of an opinion. Your opinion is so full, there is no space for another. So whatever they're telling you, be it good, be it undesirable,
Yeah.
or whatever, I don't have space for that. So, and I didn't ask you for it.
Yeah.
So I'm good on that. But how do we begin to look at ourselves and really begin to say, hey, this part of me really isn't healthy. This part of me really isn't serving me well. And if I'm not serving me well, how am I impacting anyone who I pour into? And pouring isn't always as proverbial as we speak to, right? But whenever you engage someone, that's pouring.
Yeah.
Right? When you meet someone in the store, like you're getting the residue. Like I always, when I was younger, I used to have, and I'm telling this, but don't judge me. Don't judge me. I used to have a little road rage.
Okay.
Right? And the road rage, it might be because I'm from New York, and in New
bit.
York we don't play behind the wheel, right? As soon as the light turns green, you better
Go.
And if you don't go at that very second, somebody's gonna honk
on the horn.
at you.
We got places to be. We're
Right,
New York.
right. And then my New York self moved to South Jersey,
It's
where
a little different.
the driving culture is completely
Y'all
different.
can't even do left.
Completely.
They don't even let y'all turn left.
They got jug handles, right? What is that about, right? And it's funny because every time I see someone who's trying to make an illegal left, they're from New York. I'm like, come on, man, look at the sign. It says,
it's right there.
But I found that over time, of course, I've grown out of road rage, right? But one thing that I've discovered is the times that I was the most anxious behind the wheel was when I was the least prepared for my journey. So I'm more urgent when I'm late, and I'm wondering why people are driving slow. But is it possible that person is on time, or they're early to where they need to go, and they don't need to go beyond the speed limit?
Chilling.
And I just
they left on time.
They left on time.
They prepared.
They left on time. They prepared, and their journey is way more relaxed. When you have a lifestyle where you're always running late, you're always trying to get there, or you're always under or unprepared, then there's a certain anxiety.
Chaos.
There's a certain anxiety that comes.
That feeling that you would get when you didn't have your homework done the period before.
That pit in your stomach.
You don't know what to do. It's just, you get get cloudy in the head. You lose your clarity. You lose your focus on wherever you are in that moment because you're worried about the future because you didn't prepare for it.
And then what does that cause on the road? It causes a higher propensity to have an accident.
It causes a higher propensity to do something risky.
That's all the above.
Specifically for men, like we're already prone to risky behaviors. Right.
So let's talk about that.
Especially young men.
Let's talk about that.
If you're not 25 yet and you're listening to this, one, kudos to you. Thank you, because we got to tap in with the under 25 crowd.
That's true. Absolutely.
Like we're out of that. We're past that. We gotta connect to that class, that age group. Because one, they got some great leaders in that age group. But two, they need great leaders to follow. They need the examples. We have to build that bridge to the younger generation, to this generation, to the generation ahead of us. Because like we're fighting a war. Like there's battles happening for communities, for history, and for the direction of the country, direction of the city, direction of the country. And if your fight is smaller, more granular, it's still better to fight with people on your side. Yeah. Right. So we got to build these bridges. Specifically for young people, like your prefrontal cortex, this part in the front up here, it's not fully formed yet, scientifically. So that's where your decision making's made. You're making all your decisions back here with we call it the red part of your brain. One of my coaching mentors, Coach V, she has an organization called ODAP, Open Door Abuse and Awareness Prevention. And she has this brain model that she talks about, and it's all about emotional regulation. Your emotions, you have to feel them. You have to feel emotions. You're a human being. But when you have the verbiage and the vernacular to feel more than just anger or more than just rage, you can understand that, I'm angry, but I'm angry because I'm sad. Or I'm angry because I'm scared. Or I'm fearful because I'm frustrated. And that fear is making me react with anger, because anger and apathy are the two things that we're told as men that we can use as emotions, that we can express as emotions.
Yeah.
There's men who don't even think they're allowed to smile walking outside. There's men who think they can't hold their girl's hand walking outside.
Right.
There's men who think they're not a man if they're holding a man's hand walking outside. There's men who want to cry, but they were told they can't, and they told themselves they can't for so long that they can't. Like, you talk about a belief, you believe that masculinity has to be strong all the time. So then your actions, your ideas, your actions become your habits, become who you are, that you can't release those emotions. And then you got to go all the way back to the start about, why did I get here? How did I get here?
Yeah.
That's a hard journey.
It is.
Having to backtrack, like literally retracing all the steps of life, all the moments, all the experiences, all the good, the bad, the trauma, the hurt, the trials, the triumph, tracking all the way back to the root of whatever it was that caused that. The more time that goes, the harder it is, but it's always worth it to go and do it.
Yeah.
But that work gets difficult. We should just start doing it younger. We should start doing the work. We should start going to therapy, start talking, and don't even call it therapy. You want to just call it coaching. You just need to have space where you can, most people are aware. Most people have awareness. We don't know what to do with it. We don't know how to adapt to the world around us. We're too rigid in our beliefs. We don't have enough resilience to know that we can change and have that growth mindset to believe that we can change or that we're worth changing for, right? So the awareness first, the adaptability second, and then knowing what actions to take. Because if you are aware and you can adapt, but you don't know how to act, you're going to sit in so much fear and anxiety because those two things love stagnation. So the fact that we're having this conversation and other people are listening, I hope that they then take the action steps to go and find their purpose. Go and find what the world needs. What are you good at? What do you love to do? And what can make you a little bit of money?
Yeah.
Go do that. Go walk all up in that purpose.
Yeah.
Go heal yourself, grow yourself, and walk in your purpose. And like, I promise you, you'll be happier.
That's
more
good.
Fulfilled.
That's good. That's good. And I love everything you said, but I want to push back.
Go ahead.
On one small area.
Mm-hmm.
And I challenge this one element, and it's that there's so many people over the age of 25.
Oh, yeah.
Who have not
100%. 100%. But you know, they don't like to hear that. I'm hoping. Listen, I wrote a curriculum that's for 14 to 22. It's called I'm Him. Healthy Intellectual Masculinity.
Yes.
Every man should take it.
Yes.
Every woman should understand this stuff.
But
I say it that way because when I say it, hey, this is for 14 to 22-year-olds, the 23-year-old cousin who hears their 21-year-old homie like, oh yeah, I have words for my emotions now. He's like, oh, what? Oh, I'm 23, but can I go to the I'm Him?
Yeah.
Or I'll have it where like I send somebody home with homework and Pop sees it. Pop's like, whoa. What is this?
So you're infiltrating.
Oh yeah,
through the younger generation.
Yeah,
and I think because at Pierce we have such a non-traditional population, average age is between 35, 45. I go all the way to the wall. I pound it.
Yeah.
in their head straight on that these are things that might sound basic, but it's not basic if you need it. You know, and I love what you said.
Simple.
Yes, I love what you said. And I believe even when we talk about generational norms, there was not a generational norm of therapy, of self-awareness, of mindfulness like that. I would say that's become more pervasive in society now within like the past 5 to let's say 7 years. But people weren't necessarily like me growing up. I'm not gonna say my age. Should I say it? I don't know. I don't know if it matters. But either way, I'll say
it's a good age.
I'll say this. I grew up in the 80s. Right? I'll put it like that. Right. So growing up in the 80s, if you had a conversation around therapy, it was connected to some type of a space of, oh, you're crazy. Right. You know, oh, you're sick in the head. That's why you need therapy. But now, if you say, you could just tell your friend, hey, I'm going to therapy today, and they'll say, oh man, that's good. Do you have a good, like, would you make a recommendation for the person that you're with? Now it's normalized. So I think that there's still some generations as we trek backwards that have never been in a space of community that have spoken the language that you're presenting in such a pervasive way because you do this, you live this, you present this, and this is you. But I just love
this is also me through a lived experience, right? So like, 2020 was crazy, bro.
It was for everybody.
2020 was crazy, and it was crazy for everyone. It was crazy for everyone in their own way. I was literally at home. I went from being around 25,000 people every day working at the Sixers, multiple times a week, in the lights, loud noises, like energy and like humanity. Then I'm just locked in the crib. Wifey's still going to work. Thank God we had got a dog, because like before I started therapy, Dewey, my dog, was my therapist. Like I had to get into that. We were watching black people get killed on the screen over and over and over and over and over again. We were just at home. So like we had seen it before, but we were at home just watching it, just watching it, just watching it. And I was like, yeah, this has been happening, y'all. Like, why are y'all acting like this? And that made me feel even crazier, right? And I was like, all right, well, I gotta talk to somebody about this. And even then, like everyone needed therapy, so it was like a 6-week wait. I'm so happy I got in.
Yeah.
Right? I got with my band through Black Men Heal.
Nice.
Kevin Hubbard, one of the best therapists in Philly. Shout out Kev. Right? So I did a year and a half of therapy, just me. And I had a weekly time where it was just me talking to another brother about life. And like, when's the last time we really did that every week? Like, even with your homies. Like, I got friends. I got homies that I've had since we were pups, right? Like, young. Like 4th grade, 8th grade, 7th grade. And like, we won't talk. We'll pick up the phone. We'll never miss a beat. But to have that scheduled at the same time, the same way that I was scheduled going to the gym, right? Hitting the weights, getting out for a run, doing a sprint workout. Nah, I'm just working on my mental.
Come on.
You can't touch me now. I'm untouchable. Can I swear on this? No? I'm un-F-wittable. You can't F with me. Like, and I'm at the point now where I'll be out on a run and like, you talk about the mental skills that you get from therapy.
Yeah.
I'll be on a run and in a grind moment, like sprinting up a hill, and I'm like, yo, I can't be touched with. I can't be messed with. And like, that's enough to get me up that hill, but that's enough to get me through the uphill of life too.
I love this testimonial. What I really believe is that there's someone who's listening to this podcast, who's watching it, who may have heard about therapy, may have heard about the benefits, and even now you just gave a great testimonial for it. But I want us to go to the next level. I want you to speak directly to that person.
Yeah.
And tell them what they need to do.
I'm gonna do what I did with my family, right? Because it got to the point where like my sister's moving back home to my mom and dad, and I was like, yo, like all I'm gonna talk about in therapy is this situation. So, yo, y'all been saying we want to break generational. This is me talking to the camera now.
Yep.
We've been saying we want to change things, right? We want to make a difference. We want to break generational curses. That is hard. Go to therapy. Go get the tools that you need, because school's not setting you up. Your family's probably not able to fully prepare you. You have to be able to master your mind and master your mental, and just be bold and courageous and vulnerable enough to explore who you are and get to know yourself, so that you can find that purpose. Because life without purpose, it's really hard to live. Like, life is always hard. Life is always gonna be hard, but when you have the tools and you're prepared and you have the purpose, man, it's a lot more fulfilling.
Yeah.
It's a lot more fulfilling.
That's really good. And I think you really just changed somebody's life just now.
I hope so.
I appreciate you for not just showing up, but just showing up.
Yeah, right? Because there's a difference.
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Indeed. And I also want to plug that here at Pierce College, man, we offer You Will, which is a free therapy service for all our students.
Really?
And I also want to challenge anyone who is already a Pierce student who might be watching this to tap in. Your tuition already has this covered.
It's already
where you
there.
have access to therapy services completely free of charge as a student. So definitely tap in. And if you are not a part of Pierce, but you know that you have a gap in that area of mental accountability, trauma accountability, growth accountability, I'll even go as far as to say generational curse breaking accountability,
For real.
then you might want to start with a therapist. And we definitely challenge and support you going through that process of connecting. And we also amplify, even though they're not sponsors, they're not connected to this at all, but Black Man Hill is a great resource.
Huge
And
resource.
they're doing work all across this country. So it's definitely a lot of resources out there. If you're tapped in and if you're looking for it, you will find it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I want us to begin to land the plane.
Okay.
And today was so rich. I feel like we could just go on, man.
We could sit and chat forever.
I feel like this is a series, and I keep saying this, man. Like we've had such phenomenal talent, but this is a different level, a different layer. When we're talking about the things that really undergird your capacity and ability to be able to grab hold of purpose. And I love when you mention the different aspects, what you're good at, what are you here to do, how can you make money, right? All these different things not always being the same. And what I want us to kind of begin to imagine is how do we begin to see the different aspects of ourself through a clear lens if you've never been clear before. So when you're used to having the traumas, when you're used to doing things in spite of, and I'll say this through this quick story, there's some people who are so used to the struggle, they're so used to the mess that when they get out the mess and they don't have the struggle on them anymore, it's like, man, I've lost my why. I've lost the thing that gave me credibility because some people find value in doing it in spite of something.
Yo, pick up a book. Pick up books.
Yeah.
We gotta get back to reading books because there's brilliant people who wrote really important things. What you just talked about, the way that you heal that idea that I'm speaking specifically for blackness now, right? The idea that blackness is tied to pain and trauma and lack, right? The way that is pervasive for someone who rises up out of that, from that pain, right? From a place of pain, from a place of lack to a place of prominence and a place of abundance. You're like, oh yeah, but I grew up in the hood. Oh yeah, I grew up and it was hard, or I grew up without. That's cool. That's part of your story, but that doesn't have to like change blackness, right? Like you can still be black and not come from a place like that, and you still carry both the boldness and the excellence of being black, regardless of all that. But you also carry like the history, the painful part of the history, the traumatic part of the history. It's all bold and beautiful when it blends together.
Yeah.
But that's like real stuff that you got to sort through. So the reason I say read a book, like Carter G. Woodson talked about that. We talk about, we look at the schools, right? Look at the schools in Philly, and there's a disconnect in belief, right? There's the expectations are so low that we can't have high standards. We can't have high outcomes because it's just like, oh, show up or don't, right? But Carter G. Woodson said that in The Miseducation of the Negro. You have someone go to the back door long enough, if they show up to the back door and there's no door for them, they'll build their own back door, right? We will find our own way to sabotage our communities, to sabotage ourselves, to just have so much apathy that we can't change anything, that we can't explore ourselves to find our purpose. You have to go read the book. Read Malcolm. Malcolm's up here on the wall. Read Black Privilege by Charlemagne the God. Go read some Zora Neale Hurston. Go read Octavia E. Butler. Go read books. Go read these books. You can listen to them. You gotta get this. You have to get this knowledge, and like, there's some stuff you just gotta do for yourself. You gotta have time that's dedicated to you, just for you. So I think that's how you start to find that purpose, right? You gotta connect with yourself, connect with people that are like you or similar to you, or people that aren't similar to you. You can't do it all in your head. You gotta like read books. My dad said this. He said you gotta learn to read, write, and know numbers. You do those three things and you're gonna be curious about other things to the point you'll go find your own purpose.
I love what you just shared. And that was extremely rich. And it made me think of a quote from Frederick Douglass. And he said that literacy makes a man unfit to be a slave. And so often we don't learn through literacy. We learn through other people's expressions of their literacy. So you're getting a filtered, a watered down, a level of reflection that's never from your soul to the world, never from your mind to the world. It's filtered through someone else's mind first. And books give you exposure to words in a raw form where you hear the thing that's not always being said because it lands on your life and leaves an imprint. And I think sometimes we move too fast and we want to get content so quickly. We want to move, what they say, 30 seconds is the attention span of most people who are engaging content in some kind of a way. But the reality is, when you read a book, you're going to give time to that thing. I love to read books, and I've learned to read books through audio. So I'll do a book while I'm on the treadmill.
Yep.
Even when I'm working out
Do you
now.
still see the words? Like
can't-
I see the words in my head even when I'm driving and listening to, because I just want to know that
Well,
I
you're a
still do the
wordsmith.
words.
You're a wordsmith,
Yeah.
though, right?
I like
I like the
work
way
with
you
words.
connect
Yeah.
with words. I'm more experienced.
Okay.
So I end up I'm a Kugler
Okay.
in my mind.
Got you. I got you. That makes sense.
So I create an immersive experience with a book, and I end up being in that
In
thing.
it.
Right. I feel what it feels like to be in that space, and then what comes out of that is what frees me. It gives me another way to express or another way to internalize and ideate, but then implement what's within me that I didn't know was there.
It was always there, but like the book helps you uncover it. Yeah.
And I want to challenge every person that's watching this live, watching this later, because no matter how you see it, it's being seen. And the fact is that you have to find a way to get literacy to be a part of your language. You have to get literacy to be a part of your language, not just the culture. The culture always changes. The language of the streets, the language of the world is always going to move. But I just quoted Frederick Douglass. That was written so long ago, but it's still relevant today. So many things that we have that we've learned that we stand on are so futile that they don't last. So many things are just...
The goal is to go viral.
That's moments
crazy.
Do not last. They may seem exciting for a moment, but it quickly fizzles away because there's no substance behind it. And I want to challenge you to get some substance in you. Find the things that's going to last. Find the things that's going to give you value, that's going to sustain you, that's going to give you life, so that as you continue to go through circumstances, situations, let me tell you something. Everybody is going to go through something. Life is not easy. All of us have this path. There's a scripture that says it rains on the just and the unjust, whether you're a good person or you're a bad person. Rain is still going to hit your life, and you're going to have to find a way to emerge and still say, I made it. And the only way you'll do it is if you have the right stuff. So I just want to challenge you once again to find your authors, find your sources, and lock in, because you need to have more than just the latest viral moment on the top of your mind.
100%. You just went in. You just. Whew.
I felt that.
You did.
I felt that.
I felt it.
But I thank you, because I believe that what you were sharing was that, right? Like, because you have the literacy within you, because you have the language within you, it's caused your experiences, the things that you don't like, the things that the traumas, the generational curses, all the things that you don't like. You're now standing on that with pride and helping and living as a coach in many different ways, not just on a football field, but in life, helping people, advocating, right? Supporting people, because you found a way to first take care of yourself. And that's how we started, right? Talking about self-care, wellness. And because of your journey, you've inspired me, you've blessed my life, and I'm sure everyone who's been listening today have been able to get some value out of our conversation today, man. Do you have any closing words, anything you want to share just before we shut this thing down today?
Well, one, I just want to say thank you to you, to Pierce College, for having me on the All I Do Is Win podcast. It's been a great time. Thanks to everybody, 387 Grooming, and thanks to your team for production. Only other thing I want to send people off with is, like, now's the time. Like, you don't have to wait for later. You can win right now. Whatever winning is for you, whether that's winning today, winning tomorrow, or winning in the future, the time to start is now. The time to start is right now. There's so many things that you can get involved in. There's so many people that are already doing things. You don't have to create something on your own. You don't. You can go and join a movement, join a mission, and still be a leader. There's so many different ways to lead. Find your way. First, heal yourself, and then go and heal your world. Doesn't have to be the whole world, but at least your little corner of it.
My brother, thank you. And I'm so glad that I formally said this is the end of the podcast, because his closing comments almost started a whole new podcast. Because that was lit, man. That was a lit close. And I think it's going to set up our
That's for
next
the next the
episode.
comeback.
I think it's going to
The
set up the next
comeback.
episode for sure, for sure. So we definitely have to run this back. Listen, thank you for joining us today. Thank you for being part of this experience. And I can guarantee you that this is not the last episode of the All I Do Is Win podcast. Until next time, peace.